Hello, everyone, and welcome to World of Darkness News. With a special interview today, we're going to interview Hugh from Black Chantry Productions about VTS and more. All of the things that were happening not only lately with Vampire the Eternal Struggle and its releases, but also amazing events last year with tons of players all around the world meeting and playing the game in various championships. I would love to hear more about that. I wasn't able to visit any of them, and I feel a huge fear of missing out right now, or the fear of have missed out. I think that's a proper name for that. But anyway, let me see if Hugh is awaiting me, and let's start the interview. Hello, Hugh. Can you hear me well?
Hello, yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Perfect. I'm doing fine. Our audience can see you now. You are shown next to a very nice little slideshow I've prepared from the latest
Excellent.
assets that you've sent over to me from Vampire the Eternal Struggle. So, for anyone who has never seen you before, could you give us a very quick introduction?
Of course, my name's Hugh Angsising. I'm based in the UK. I'm the chief executive of Black Chantry Productions, and we publish Vampire: The Eternal Struggle, which is a trading card game, collectible card game that's been going since 1994, so 30 years. Our little tagline is, bleeding since 1994.
That's a lot of bleeding, I gotta say.
A lot of bleeding.
But I assume it's a very pleasant bleeding in general because not only so many people are playing your game and still playing the game, but also joining group of players who play VTS, but also you're putting out new releases all the time. And recently, something that we want to discuss today and focus on, it's the Ravnos, Tzimisce, and Salubri pre-constructed decks, which I like to call in my own head companion decks, because I remember how in V5 we introduced companion, and that's
hmm
the free book which contained Ravnos, Tzimisce, and Salubri. So can you tell me a little bit more about these decks?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess we have like a core box set for the game, and we've been adding more products to that line so you can use other clans within Vampire: The Eternal Struggle. So these three are obviously based on that companion book. So you've got the Ravnos, kind of nomadic clan, not many titles, not very high gen or not very low gen, depending on how you want to think about it. So they're wandering around from place to place, using their kind of wiles to make do. Then you've got the Tzimisce, who are really, all about kind of control and territory still. The ones we've done here are kind of more anarch based.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got some titles, some barons, a little bit of control, again, a bit younger. So they're kind of fighting that kind of aggression and trying to get a bit of territory against the Camarilla. And then you've got the Salubri, who are, for us, this is really quite interesting. So in the card game in the past, they'd been divided up into two parts of the clan. Here, putting them together, using that ability and kind of rethinking about them in a different way. So you've got far more of like a controlling clan, using a lot of dominate to get people to do what they want them to do, as well as being able to do combat quite well. So you've got three different strategies present in those three decks,
Mm-hmm.
and they complement the other kind of products available to let you do different things. Each of these decks has kind of like a crypt, so that's your vampires of kind of 12 cards, and then 77 other cards that those vampires can use to interact with the game.
Yeah.
And they work straight out of the box. We've gone through a lot of playtesters. So I'd like to take this moment to thank all of our playtesters. We've got like English-speaking playtesters, French-speaking playtesters, Spanish-speaking playtesters, and kind of a Portuguese, Brazilian-based group as well. So it's really helpful to get that kind of diverse view on, does this work? Are we going in the right direction? How does this change the game's kind of strategy and archetypes? So it's really helpful having so many playtesters as we go through. And they've been playtesting these for about 6 months, kind of refining our ideas and allowing us to kind of think about how we develop these decks in the future as well. So here's your base deck, but then later on, it may be 6 months or a year, you'll get like a small booster deck that you can add to it to do different strategies as well. So the Ravnos here, there are three main kind of archetypes in the game for how you try and oust your opponents. So one type is bleeding, so the Ravnos are really strong at that. They've got obfuscate, so they can try and hide themselves, and they can use that presence to do the kind of the damage that the bleeding requires, and a little bit of animalism to kind of survive combat. And then you've got the Salubri, who've got dominate, that again does a bit of bleeding, but they've got more kind of combat options. Just they're a bit more buffed up. They like using weapons and things like that. And then the
Nice.
Tzimisce, oh, the Tzimisce, it's like a dream come true. That there are there are certain discipline combinations in the game which are really interesting and kind of a lot of fun to see, and they've probably got the most interesting discipline combination for me. So they've got the animalism, and like my cats like to remind me that they're the most important thing in the house. So I really like getting there, using
Yes.
that kind of power to use animals to do damage to opponents, to see what they're doing. They've also again got dominate, which is one of the most powerful disciplines in the game. What is going on with this?
Yes, I can hear you. You're there.
Excellent. And then they've got protein, which is using that kind of power to meld and change shape, so that they can do a lot of interesting things like aggravated damage. So it's really interesting seeing these discipline combinations come through in this kind of V5 version, and seeing how we've changed and adapted the kind of past cards and brought them forward to want to add new things to the game rather than just taking things that used to exist and reprinting with a new name. It's more about, okay, how does this look now? What do we want it to do? How do we keep it exciting and interesting for players? And yeah, the Tzimisce is definitely my favorite of the three. You're allowed to have a kind of like a favorite child, right? That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I was going to ask about your favorite anyway, so thank you for filling in for me.
Oh yeah, definitely the Tzimisce.
I want to ask because we had a little chat before the call about the general, how the onboarding into VTS changed since the 90s and now. And let's assume we have someone in chat right now, or someone on in our YouTube channel who is watching this, who is super into Tzimisce. They really like Tzimisce. They like card games. Like, this might be something that I might be into, but also this is a game which we're going to talk about the anniversary, but is like 30 years into the making. The community is huge. There are championships. Everyone seems to know what's going on. I don't. How do I jump in? How do I
Yeah,
join?
that's a great question. So I guess we've tried to grow up, if you like. So you go back to like 1994 when the game first came out. You got like a random collection of cards and this small, really hard to read rule book, the size of, well, I guess it was about the size of a traditional deck of cards. The rule book itself, quite hard to read, hard to get going here. Now, all of our community groups are on Discord, on Facebook. It's easy to connect, Instagram, so you can see what people are doing. You can try and get help with how people are suggesting you build a deck or design a deck. There's events online, so you can play online. There's an event, I think in 2 weekends time, the Mid-Atlantic Cup. So it's called that because you're trying to get players from the States and players from Europe to meet online at the same time and play over the internet. And it's a challenge using technology because it's a multiplayer game, but it's part of the community, right? The community wants to do this. It wants to connect. It's kind of very opening and welcoming. So, it wants to invite new players into the game. The easiest way to get into the game is probably like the core base set.
Yeah.
You've got like a nice, relatively modern rulebook with like help sheets and 5 decks in there that are self-contained and it's ready to go. And then you can take any of these new decks here, like the Ravnos, the Salubri, and Tzimisce, and they just add to that. So you can just go, okay, instead of using the Tremere, that's my least favorite clan, you can just remove the Tremere deck and you can add the Tzimisce. So why do you want to use those Infernal Magicians when you can just use a real clan of vampires like Tzimisce instead? You can have those in. And instead of like a help guide being available as like a hard copy, it's just available on our website to download. Here's a PDF. This is what we recommend you do to learn how to use this deck. And here's how you go. And the kind of the best way, I think, really to learn how to play this game is for someone who's already played it before. So like Discord's really helpful for that. We've got a section on there for neonates, so for new players. We've got a rules section as well. Sections where people can gather to play online with each other. So just try assist and develop people as they go along. I mean, it's the best way is obviously face to face, but for kind of 2020 to 2022, that wasn't happening so much. So we really learned how to use the internet in a different way. Like before, the internet was just there to post pictures of someone winning a cup or attending an event. Now it's about actually we can really use that to play the game and develop it further as well. So yeah, really a lot easier, I think, to develop there. So yeah, our Discord is probably the best way. So Vampires Don't Struggle on Discord. Also got a bunch of kind of Facebook groups as well. So that's the easiest way to connect with the wider community, I think.
That's awesome. And we did touched upon one big anniversary, and that is, I don't know if it's coming or it has already, I think it's coming this year, right?
It's coming this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vampire the Struggle was released a few years after the original World of Darkness. So released in 1994
Yes.
In the September. So this 2024, this September will be our 30th anniversary, which is really exciting. So we're doing a few events along the year. I guess the first set of events will take place at the North American Championships, which is in Columbus, Ohio, in kind of start of June, which is really exciting. We have like a big week-long set of events there, which is mainly attended by American players, but we have had South American and European players attend as well. And there'll be a few this year. It's just an exciting way to get together, have some food. I love American food. Have a few drinks, catch up with people you've not seen for a while, and play a lot of games. And then in September, when we actually get to the anniversary, we're coincidentally having our European Championships. So European Championships this year will be in Warsaw, which is really exciting.
Nice.
So they've hosted us before. I think the first time they hosted us was in November when it was quite cold. So I'm looking forward to September where it's kind of the tail end of summer, so you get a bit more light and a bit warmer. I'm from the UK, right? I can deal with rain, but I can't deal with the cold quite so well. So that should be really exciting. And then we're going to launch a special deck at that European Championships. It might be available a little bit earlier, but the idea is to basically launch it at that Championships as kind of a really nice tie-in for that 30th anniversary. And this deck will take an old deck from the last 30 years, and it will kind of reimagine it in a different way. So there'll be some iconic vampires in there. I don't want to talk about it too much, so I want to keep some of that as an excitement. But there'll be some iconic vampires in there that we've worked on with kind of Karim and the rest of the team, and a few kind of classic cards as well. So the deck will be like 100 cards, and then we did like a 25th anniversary, and that had space for some more cards. So we took some old cards, gave new artwork to them, etc., just to get them back out to the community. So I guess one of the things that is perhaps slightly intimidating for new players is that there are like 3,500 cards in the game. So our aim is to take the ones that are useful, because not all those cards were used. Many games unfortunately produce cards that people don't want to actually use. So we try to avoid that by taking the cards that people want to use and having them available in these decks, or having them available in kind of a print on demand format. So they're easy to get hold of. So if you want to go get this card, that's where you find it. You can either order it from like drive-through cards in the US, or GamePod we've just launched as a European print on demand, or it will be in one of these decks that nice and easy to get hold of. So it's try and make it accessible.
That sounds great, and also really fun plans for the anniversary celebrations. I have to warn you, Poland these days can get very hot in September, so if you'll enjoy sun, you probably will get a lot of sun, hopefully. I don't want to jinx it. But with all that in mind, I do also know that there are some more things coming. Now that you are out with the Ravnos, Salubri, and Tzimisce, I heard that you are planning something for fans of other clans as well. Is that true?
Yes. So I guess we'll be taking all of the core clans in the game and giving them a starter deck, for this kind of companion deck ready to go. So Hakata and Sombra are currently being tested right now. Mm-hmm. They're obviously both using the discipline of Oblivion. So it's really exciting getting that into the game as well. So I guess trying to make the clans use it in a different way, right? So with the La Sombra, using more of the control of the shadows still, and that kind of the power they have there. And then with the Hecata, that again, control of the dead. So the previous constituent parts of that clan. Use a lot of things with zombies and wraiths. So it's try and get some of that feel across, but in kind of a my internet provider is having a bit of a poor afternoon, unfortunately.
Don't worry, I was waiting for you. We were all waiting for you, but you're here, so we were very happy. So the last thing we were talking about was the last, like you mentioned a little bit of the last Sombra powers. Yes.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, so we're going to have, they're currently being playtested. We just had the second round of playtesting. We generally do about 3 rounds to kind of get these decks as tight as possible. The first round is a bit more, here's some ideas, let's try and narrow it down. The second round kind of concretes that, and the third round just adds that icing and makes the decks as perfect as we can. So they're doing really well. We've had a lot of the art done for the decks already. So I paid some artists this week. That's one of my favorite jobs, because you pay the artist, you get to have a look at the final piece ready to go.
yeah, it's beautiful. And also, everyone is complimenting the artwork in VTS all the time. So just wanted to give it to your team and to all the artists. It's gorgeous.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we do so well. Like, we're very, very lucky to have so many artists, and so many artists we've had, some of them since 1994. So there's a wide selection of people who we got more recently. It just really keeps it vibrant and keeps it engaging as a game. But yeah, we should have those decks sometime after the 30th anniversary. So I don't want to. It's hard to make too many promises with our printer of exactly when, but I'd like to have them sometime between that September and Christmas. So get them out. Then we'll have all of the core clans, but have those decks available. It just makes it, if you've got a favorite clan from a game or from the RPG, you can just pick it up and you have that ready to go. That's the really nice, easy thing about it. That's the intent there. If you want to do something with a particular discipline, it's there available again as well. It's that kind of intent that we're going for. And then, we'll keep building on those clans, add on little small packs. We have this concept of a small new blood pack for each of the decks. You get this deck of 77 and 12 I talked about before, and then you have this tinier deck of 54 cards, which we call a new blood set, and it gives you alternate options to go with that same clan. So if you've got like a Tzimisce once, the Tzimisce New Blood, which is in development, that will focus more on, here's some more allies for them so they can do stuff. Explain how you've got an ally to look after their kind of territory, an ally that might protect them in combat, an ally that might do this, etc. Just try and get that theme running through. That's kind of the idea about having these little support packs, is just give you more variation if you want it. You don't need it, but it lets you do different things with that kind of clan-based deck.
Awesome. And of course, I have to touch upon the community part and congratulate the whole team and, of course, the whole community for making 2023 so big. I know that, of course, pandemic was very difficult for everyone to gather around and play games. And I feel like a lot of us kind of start to have this feeling where we just really want to finally go out and meet other people. And maybe that's just what caused it. But you had so many VTS players meeting in person and playing last year in United States, Latin America, and in Europe. Can you tell us a little bit more about this great achievement that the last year was?
Yeah, I don't really know where to start, but when we stopped printing the game originally, like tournament scene, and that's not all the players by any means, but the tournament scene dropped to about 900 unique players a year. And last year we got back over 2.2 K. So we've over doubled it. I could see us getting towards like maybe 3,000 unique tournament players this year. It's just a really good demonstration of that kind of tightness of community. People wanting to play. It's not a top-down thing, right? We've got organizers in lots of different places called princes, and they're the ones doing all of the work, right? So they're going out there, they're meeting people regularly, just getting them to play, and then maybe having a tournament if you've got enough players. So if you've got 10 players, that's a nice size to get tournaments going, and then you get players from maybe the next city or the next city along, etc., coming along. So you just get this kind of community rebuilding, and then you get the interaction of, oh, you built this deck this way, oh, I did something slightly different with my deck. It's just, again, a way of sharing ideas, interacting with each other, We play a lot, like in the UK, we play a lot in kind of game stores as well. So it's a nice way to support someone else's business a little as well by buying something there, giving them a bit of income, keeping those things open, particularly through things like cost of living crisis.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year was absolutely amazing, and there were some really good bits in the States, getting that back out there. We had some nice events kicking off in kind of Asia, like the Philippines. They restarted playing quite large events again, which is really helpful. And then probably the most impressive thing was Barcelona. So that was our European Championships, and it was just absolutely amazing. So there was a pretty small, tight team who ran it. So I was just there to look pretty and help a little. But like Marta and the team there, they had 269 players. So they're looking after us for kind of 3 days. They made lots of bespoke little kind of prizes and kind of mementos for players to take away with them. So it just, again, keeps that kind of community feel going. It's just really impressive. It was great to see so many people. We gave a little talk, didn't get booed off the stage. So, that's again, a win for me, but it's brilliant to see so many people enjoying themselves. And Barcelona, it's the first time I'd been, so I went with my partner as well. So she did some sightseeing whilst I did, looking unimpressive, but it was really good. It was fantastic 3 days. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous city. And also, a huge shout out to all of the princes from all around the world for all of your community efforts. We do have one from Italy here in chat with us, actually. And
Oh, excellent.
yes, so thank you for everyone. Also, princes, if you are listening to this stream, remember that if you have any events planned or any photos or anything fun to share, you can always hit us up on our Discord or social media. Just send us stuff. We would love to showcase more of what you do, because that's really awesome. Thank you, Hugh. I really want to ask you, for everyone who wants to jump in on this beautiful, beautiful train, how to find you, where to find you, where to find the Discord and that a website with all the updates. Where can we find you online?
Yep. So I guess starting place is blackchantry.com is our core website. And if you want to email the team directly, contact@blackchantry.com is the easiest way to do that. There's also pictures of the core team on the website, so you can look at how we've changed over the years. Like I had short hair on the photo there. I'm now running out of the hair, but like I had short hair. I was a little bit slimmer. It was pre-COVID, right? We were all allowed to change. We then have a few core Facebook groups. So the most important one, there's a cat pushing open my door. I do apologize.
It's okay. It's not the first time and not the last time it happens on the stream.
No. The core Facebook group is Vampire Elder Kindred Network. So that was the original kind of player community that Robert Gowdy and others set up back in the kind of late 90s. And we've just kept that going as a player community. And that Facebook, so that's Vampire, the Elder Kindred Network Facebook page. That's really good for connecting with people, going, oh, is there a group in Tennessee? Is there a group in Milan, etc.? It's a great way to get people to go, yes, connect with this person, and then build from there and go on to somewhere else. The Discord, it's got like a tiny little URL, but again, it's Vampire the Eternal Struggle. It's really helpful on there. So, I wouldn't have started that without, again, some volunteers going, have you tried a Discord? I was like, yeah, I've used it for some other online gaming. I've never thought about having a Discord for kind of card game, but it's really useful because you can, ask a ruling on there. You can go, oh, when's this out? Or, oh, this card here, who's this artist? I've not seen them do anything else. So you can share that information really easily on there. So yeah, good call out to the kind of modern admins who run that. So again, it's generally got like a few hundred people on it on a day. So it's really good to have that kind of interaction going on.
That's awesome, and yeah, I think Discord is just a natural place for a fandom like this to join together and ask all the questions, and just maybe plan out something to play in person, find people to play with as well. So thank you so much, Hugh, for all of this information. I cannot wait to test out, especially the Salubri deck. I think that'll be really fun.
Brilliant.
One of my favorite clans. So
excellent.
Looking forward to that, and I do hope to have you here again one day to talk more about La Sombra Hecata and more amazing things that you have cooking for VTS, if that sounds good.
Excellent. Would love to. Thank you very much for having me, Martina.
Thank you so much, and see you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone, and that was it for Hugh interview from Black Chantry Productions and VTS. Thank you so much for everyone from the community of VTS who came here to the stream today, and if you're watching us on YouTube as well. I will be joined by Hadi right now to go for the Vamily Spotlight. Now, if you want to be a part of the Vamily Spotlight, for example, you're a fan artist, fan creator, you make videos, you make actual play streams, you organize events like VTS events, you make photos, you do homebrews, the Storytellers Vault stuff, the World of Darkness Unbound things, literally anything that would fall under Dark Pack, Unbound, or Storytellers Vault, then do let us know. You can contact us on social media, or you can also go to our Discord. In the latest announcement, I've linked a form which you can fill in order to get featured in the future. So you can check out that form on our Discord. You can also just contact us directly. So in any way, let us know. We got a lot of submissions since last week, so it might not be possible for us to go for a lot today. If you submitted already, but you're not featured today, you might be featured in the future, so don't worry about it. And if you're watching us on YouTube, check out that form below in the description. And I'll be going now to the Spotlight with Hadi and see what we have in here. Hello, Hadi.
Oh, sorry. Forgot to mute the Twitch stream, so
I didn't.
Zonked my brain.
Oh yeah, I just destroyed your brain then. I'm sorry. I'm going to go to the Spotlight very quickly and see our beautiful board of madness. How is it this week?
It's good. It's a new way of setting up the board, so you're gonna have to give me a minute, a little practice with it.
Yeah, but I think you did a very good job. I took a little look at it earlier and I was like, damn, we got so much fun stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with, I believe that was a Discord submission and we got directly on Discord from Dark Lord Johan or Johan, I think Johan.
I think Johan,
yeah. With this really cute Nosferatu.
I think this was our very first submission to Val, so I had to absolutely feature the very first one.
Yes, the very first one. Using a really nice palette. And you know what I like about this one? Not only it is showing the palette just to give you like a general color mood board for it, but anyone else who enjoys it can actually take it and use it, like basically draw from it, which is really cool. So,
and I love the name as well, Carmen Ramirez.
Yeah, it's really nice. I have to say, there's something about the red glasses and Vampire the Masquerade that never gets old. It just always like gets me the same way. And for some reason, I have to say, Nosferatu are beating Tremere in the way they're rocking them.
Absolutely. I mean, we know how we feel about Nosferatu and versus Toreador. We both know how we feel about it.
I know. And also the manicure and the general makeup.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice the green nails. That's fantastic.
There's something there's something about Nosferatu who really take care about their appearance and about makeup.
That sort of Cleopatra.
It gets me every single time. Yep. Really fun submission, by the way, folks. If you want to see more, you can check out on our Discord channel in the community category. There's tons of rooms for art and other stuff, and this one was, I believe, posted directly in art among a lot of other stuff. So if you want to enjoy more of these creations, you can check in there. And now we go to Storytellers Vault, which is the source book called Welcome to the Night. What is it?
I believe we featured this before, but it was again submitted, so I wanted to, sort of new format. So might be some things that we've introduced, shown before.
Yeah, sure.
But this is a just sort of a quick guide or quick start rather for people who are new to Vampire the Masquerade, new storytellers, new players, and it just gives some brief advice, things that you can print out for handouts, things like that, and suggested advantages and flaws, things that can, so you can just sort of jump right into playing. And because a lot of people like me learn better by hands-on than by reading or watching.
This is so cool. One thing I really enjoy is that there's a lot of players, and this is like a huge shout out to both newer players, for people who are playing the new edition, but also the legacy players. There's so many people in the community who do see potential onboarding, like issues or frictions. So people who are like, I've been playing this for a long time. I'm super deep into the lore. I know like every single thing about things that I'm passionate about in the setting, but I know how these things can be difficult for newcomers. So I'm going to basically give you something to make it easier. And like I've seen a lot of people getting people onto V5, V20, and other editions through that sort of approach. So huge shout out to people who not only do that like through the source books or materials that you put out, because that's a huge effort, but also just, friendly, hey, I can help you out on Discord or something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm always that person where I'm like, especially when I play with new people, I want to be like, let's make this as easy and simple as possible just to start.
Yeah, when someone reaches out to me and is like, I don't know much about it, but I kind of want to get into it, I'm like, tell me when to shut up, because I will keep talking.
It very much be like that.
Yes, but awesome. Glad to see Storytellers Vault folks also submitting. I see in chat we also have another person who submitted, so we're going to make sure to check out your stuff for next week. Kashi.
Yeah.
This is okay. So one thing that I love about the submissions, we would never find this one because it doesn't have tags. So that's so cool that we are actually able to.
That is a factual statement.
Yes, I'm so happy, because usually what we've done before, it was basically looking for the tags and searching for anything using like Vampire the Masquerade, World of Darkness, or anything similar. But with submissions, we are able to find things which we would not find this way, because I wouldn't probably go like search for RKGK.
This is their Tzimisce character, by the way.
Oh my goodness, I love this, and I love how I feel like it's a traditional drawing done by erasing to make like the hair. I kind of feel, I'm not really sure, but if that's like done with the eraser, then kudos, because that looks so good.
It looks really good. And definitely check them out on Twitter. I think they have an Instagram as well. They have a lot, and they're on the Discord as well. They have a lot of drawings of this OC.
Kashi Matson. I love it. So it's a Tzimisce. Do we know anything more about the Tzimisce, or do we just know the Tzimisce part?
I think it's their OC, and it's an OC that they've had for quite a while, and they've done lots of different drawings of how their character has changed through the Chronicle.
So Kashi is here in the chat, and Kashi is saying that it's digitally done, and this
no way.
just made it so impressive. Like, this looks traditional.
No way.
Wow, that's amazing. It literally looks like it was done with charcoal and pencil and then eraser, which is just gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I love it. Love it even more, if it's even possible. Such a good idea. Great job. I want to meet this character. I feel like I would be
very scared to meet this character, which is a good thing.
I would be great friends with him. I'm sure there is a sweetheart. And
I want to be scared to meet your characters. Make your characters very scary.
Great job, Kashi. And now moving on to TikTok. So Letty.
Yeah, this one's all you. This one, Letitia sent this one to you.
Yeah, so Letty contacted me and was like, take anything you want from my TikTok. And I was like, oh my God, what do I pick? There's so much good stuff. So Letty is posting in Brazilian Portuguese. So you, for those of you who know the language, you will know. For those of you who don't, I still feel like there's a lot of really enjoyable content, because I don't know Brazilian Portuguese and I still enjoy it a lot. And let's try this one, which is one of the really fun stuff that she's done.
I was pretty sure you'd sleep in and forget to meet me this morning.
Wouldn't have forgotten if I was sleeping with you.
But look at this, Jesus, look at this outfit.
Again.
I was pretty sure you'd sleep in and forget to meet me this morning.
Wouldn't have forgotten if I was sleeping with you.
But look at this, Jesus, look at this outfit.
The Jesus part always gets me for some reason. It's so good. So one thing I learned from from this TikTok, because I in general, of course, I think it's very easily understandable. It's when the game master gets into this little bit of a horny mode. It's basically like, oh my God. And the mode of the piranha is something I didn't know how to translate. And I learned from Letty that basically it means just being kind of horny, which I think is the best thing ever. Hadi, can I have you here? Oh yeah, you're here. Sorry, you stopped on my screen for a second, but I got you. So yeah, for me, like, this is a new term that I will be using going on from now. Mode of a piranha. I feel like a piranha mode. It's just so good.
Am I back? Am I back?
Yes, I
Okay.
Yes, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah. What I was gonna say before whatever happened, is that Very, very much. I love this sound. I've heard the sound like a lot on especially TTRPG TikTok. And one of my favorite things to do is to flirt with all of my friends when we play TTRPG. So
Yes. And Piranha mode is something that I will be using from now on. So thank you, Letty, for introducing this to us. And we have another one from Robin the God. Do you want to
Yes.
introduce this one? Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Robin the God does, and I've sent them use TikToks before. They do very intense TikToks. I mean, they do different ones, but I love the ones that are really intense and moody and very, sort of 90s punk gothic vampire-esque. And this happens to be one of them. Just
Okay.
very talented TikToker.
Let's check it out.
And suddenly, it's December, and you're not 17 anymore. And you haven't been 17 for a long time. But sometimes, you need to remind yourself.
Oh my
And
goodness.
suddenly, it's December, and you're not 17 anymore. And you haven't been 17 for a long time. But sometimes, you need to remind yourself.
Isn't this super sad? I'm very sad right now.
Yes. So this is their and Robin's gonna be mad if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this is their Tzimisce character Ambrose from New Orleans. Darkness over New Orleans. That might be wrong. It's a New Orleans based game. Robin, we'll just wait for Robin to be mad at me in my DMs later. For being wrong.
There's something extremely sad about the idea of a vampire being turned young, and just not being even able to like go into the adulthood, experience adulthood for real as a human. I mean, every embrace is sad, but that kind of an embrace is like even more sad, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Aw.
But Robin also does a lot of other ones, which you're going to see them again in the board as well. They do a Toreador named Sage from their Austin LARP and a bunch of other characters, and highly recommend them. I'm on TikTok a lot. Hi, I'm Huddy.
So yes, you were correct. It is Ambrose actually. So see,
Oh, am I?
right.
Oh, hey, one in a row. Go me.
All right. I think we have everything from the right in here. Yes, I'm going down to the left. So this is something we've pulled from Twitter and Discord, and it's been like few submitted artworks of the same OC. And I kind of want to start with the characters kind of a spread in here because it was so cool. So Radar Akai is the name. I hope I didn't butcher it too much. The Silent Shadow. And it's a Banu Hakim character, and I just love more love for Banu. So I was like, yes, absolutely. Look at him. Ah.
Yeah, it's a Sandman predator type, feeds on people that sleep. Love that.
Yes.
Lawful. I love the addition of lawful neutral.
Lawful neutral, yes.
I love that addition. That's great.
Yes, and this is like a reference sheet, and then you have one of the like more rendered artworks, which is just, oh my goodness, with the logo in blood, with the symbol of Banu Hakim in blood. And yet another one, a really cool half body portrait with some blood smeared across the face. I love it. I love everything about it. What can I say? It's so good.
Oh, and the artist is in chat as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's wonderful.
Also free, like it's so many different like art styles captured even. Like look at the
It's very, very, very cool.
more painterly digital painting, more line arty artwork in here. It's in the reference being like super nice and detailed, including the weapons. And the shoes. Look at the shoes. It's so hard to draw shoes.
I love when you start fanning over the art. It makes me so happy.
It's because it's so good. So it's an amazing work.
I'm in awe. I could. You gave me a million years to do this. Turn me into a vampire and gave me a million years to do this. I couldn't do it.
You know what I want? I want anime with this guy. I want to watch a show. I want to watch like an animated show.
So someone said Vampire the Masquerade anime. Someone said that to someone.
Yeah, I would watch a show with this guy, like in a
Castlevania-esque.
Castlevania-esque or Arcane, like,
Oh, yeah.
It'd be so fun. And now we go to photography from The Visitants. I do believe I roleplayed with the person on the left, but they have a different outfit, so I'm not sure if that's the same person. Because
The Visitant was in the chat as well. But yes,
it's you, right? Because you look different on this picture, but it's you. Okay, never mind. Of course you did. At the night in question, yes. I was like, you looked completely different in here, but I knew it's you.
Oh my goodness. You're adorable. So the visit is on the left, playing the soon-to-be Prince Evan Gangrel of Austin, and Robin the God again, featured here,
Yes.
is their sister, who is not a Gangrel but a Toreador, named Sage. And spoiler, if you want to go on the Visitant's TikTok, there seems to be a little romance going on between them, which is
Ooh.
nice.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can feel that chemistry going on. I gotta say, there's
Yeah.
something going on. And this necklace is so gorgeous, and the earrings, ooh, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And great LARPers. Also, Austin LARP scene. It's its own thing. Like the fact how many people are gathering there so often and LARPing Vampire and bringing amazing news and stories from there to socials. Always amazing to follow you folks. Like, you're doing super fun stuff. I want to come back so badly. Maybe I'll come back this year. We'll see. But let's go to TARDIS in a Teacup.
Yeah, TARDIS and Teacup. I believe this is from the same LARP. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Overtures and Requiems also in Austin.
Yes.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is someone who does a lot of work with Jackalope. I'm wearing pale makeup, a leather trench coat, and immediately after taking this picture, I was handed a katana. It's the 90s again, y'all, and that made me laugh. So obviously I have to feature this.
That's so cool. I
Mhm.
love this. And also, I never owned a leather trench coat, but I feel like I'm slowly getting into the age in which I will probably try to go thrift shopping and find one, just to feel my Vampire the Masquerade 90s self.
Just go to Berlin because they're still wearing them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. And you know what? I went to Berlin a few times, and my friend who is German told me once, you know what? You fit in Berlin. And I think it was a compliment, or maybe it was offensive. I don't
No,
know.
it's no. It's not. It's not. No, I agree. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, you would.
Okay, I will take it as a compliment though. But
It is, yeah.
since then, I was like, yeah, maybe for me, it's a Vampire the Masquerade setting. So yes, that would be so
I
fun.
mean, one of the episodes for my upcoming game is going to be called "In Berlin We Wear Black," so that is a factual thing.
I love this. And now going to Santino Giovanni. Let's check it out.
Mhm. I thought this was really cool.
It
That's
is
why I
time for-
wanted to put it up here.
Oh, sorry. Well.
Perhaps it is time for Poirot to tell to you a story. A Halloween story.
Oh no.
Perhaps it is time for Poirot to tell to you a story.
Now, can you imagine using Daunt mixed with Oblivion Sight?
Yes, by the way, sorry folks for my YouTube recommendations popping right after these videos. All of them are from Eurovision artists. So-
I know. I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna say anything. It would be the same with me if I was doing it. So sorry about it.
I'm always ashamed because the YouTube algorithm sometimes is very weird and can.
Well, it's
suggest
your
something
fault
weird.
because we have that little Eurovision chat. You keep sending stuff, and I keep clicking on it.
It just for some reason, it's been that. But anyway,
Anyway, I was gonna say presence with Oblivion Sight seems real scary. Daunt with Oblivion Sight seems scary, so I wanted to show that off.
No, this is really cool. And also, I just want to say I love how the mix of starting very cute and very nice and it's going to be funny, and then oh no, I'm actually scared. And
Yeah.
some like when you engage with Vampire the Masquerade so much, sometimes you are caught off guard with the horror element of it, because of course it's horror, you were scared many times by the themes of it or the characters in it, but when you engage with it so much, it becomes Vampire the Masquerade as a concept becomes normalized in your head, and then suddenly something scary happens and you're like, oh my god. And I love it about the setting. It's so fun.
It is
Yes.
absolutely a blast.
Great TikTok stuff today. And what about this Ghost Osa comment?
Yes. So for some reason, I couldn't find. They did link a social, a Tumblr, but for some reason, it's probably my error. I couldn't find it. So I went and found this their post here on Discord instead.
Yeah.
Ghost Osa. So if you watch this on YouTube, please leave a comment of where your actual Tumblr is, because I'm
Yes.
dumb. But today is the anniversary of the in-game meeting of these two, a vampire and a changeling, which we have shown some of these before. So I made a little comic about their first love. After 2 years of playing, they ended up married and with true love merit. Also Vamily Spotlight, question mark. And it says, I would call you my light, but vampires have problems with light. Oh, there is light that vampires love, stars or moons, for example. You are my moon, Glinda. And she says, yes, I'm just as round. It's so cute.
They're adorable. I love their clothes. I love look at the detail of the flowers on the border. That's so gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
Big fan here of supernaturals, of becoming romantic
Yes.
things.
We are very much into cross IP pollination in romantic ways.
I don't think I've ever run just a straight Vampire Chronicle with nothing else in it. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, it's always fun to just insert something else from the other settings. And what I really like is inserted also for the lens of the setting you run. So for example, in Hunter, you introduce all of these like vampires, but they suddenly don't have clans because they do have in your notes, but players have no idea because they don't know about anything, right? Or you go into werewolf and you like introduce a vampire and they have this like imaginary view of vampires being horrible, and suddenly the vampire is not very horrible, or it's very great.
Or vice versa with werewolf and vampire. Switch that around as well.
It's so good. And I have to say about this one, drawing comics, if you never drew comics, if you don't know much about drawing comics, it's so goddamn difficult. You have to draw the same thing in a similar way multiple times. It has to look cohesive, and you have to lay out it all so the typo and everything like looks good. And it's so
really
hard. Like drawing
I believe
comics,
you.
like it's one of the hardest things to do drawing wise. Like you really have to be super talented to pull it off, and this is so cohesive, so nice. It's just gorgeous, and I love
I've always liked their work. They do really great work. I wish I could remember what their handle was.
Yeah, and the fashion also is so cool, and the character design in general, just I love them. I would watch a show about them too.
Yeah, so animes and cartoons and web shows. Let's get it going.
That would be so nice. Thank you. That was a really nice board. We do have to unfortunately wrap it up a little bit early today because we are actually recording something super fun in just 8 minutes and secret. I can't tell you yet about what we're recording, but we're doing something really fun, and you will be soon able to see what we're recording today. So that is it for Vamily Spotlight. Thank you so much, Hadi, for preparing this board. And I hope to see you here next week.
Okay.
All right. See ya later. And that will be all for our this week's World of Darkness news. We will see you next week with more, but up until then, please do not get lost in the night. And if you're here with us on Twitch, stay for a little bit more for a little wind down. Goodbye.